Now, to you laymen, you may not be excited about this card, but we're here to tell you there's some juicy fights on it. Up?
Oh, another beautiful day. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. How's it going?
Not too bad. How was your day?
It was long, but did you watch the fights this weekend?
No fights.
Oh, yeah. There was boxing.
There was
Triller boxing.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Tell me about it.
I just don't know if I can. It was, let's see, I only watched 2 fights, co-main and main, which included the likes of Anderson the Spider, Tito Ortiz, Evander Holyfield, and Vitor Belfort. Both fights lasted a combined 80 seconds, and it was pitiful. It was embarrassing. It was like, so Holyfield took his fight on short notice. You know, Vitor was supposed to fight, I think,
Oscar De La Hoya,
yeah. And, you know, at the weigh-ins, Holyfield looked yoked. But if you let that play for a second, hear him talk or watch him walk, you can just tell, like, the dude's not all there anymore, you know? And Vitor, in our world, is old and washed up. But in this world was like a fucking dude, like a chicken hawk. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. There was one time when Holyfield fell through the ropes, like, without even getting hit, and got back up like, oh, I fell, and they didn't even call it a knockdown. And then, you know, he got knocked down multiple times in the first minute, and Vitor looked like he's back on the juice, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I seen some pictures
and
of
Evander probably is too, but it's too late, man. You know, it was a 44-year-old versus a 58-year-old. And it was something that should have never happened. It's sad. And the Triller thing is, we make fun of it and shit, but they keep putting on shows. You know, they paid that boxer, Teofimo Lopez. He's like the hottest boxer on the planet. Paid him like a record $4 million for one fight, which I think's about to happen. It got postponed for COVID stuff, but I just don't know what their end game is, because, you know, we're only going to watch Holyfield fall down, or Tyson look like shit, or Tito Ortiz get knocked out with one punch. We're only going to watch that shit so many times before it's going to lose its zest.
Right.
But I will watch Teofimo Lopez defend his belts. I will watch him rematch Lomachenko. I'll watch all that shit. Get some Tyson Furies in there, baby. I would even watch Silva box again. So one thing that's happened to Silva is what he lose one out of his. He won one fight out of his last like 7.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, he went like 1-7.
Yeah, and that was an arguable.
Yes, I remember there was controversy on his one win. But now he's out of the UFC.
Wasn't it Derek Brunson?
Oh, it might have been.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Fucking Brunson.
Sorry, Derek. I know you watch now, so. But it's like, now that he's back on the juice, not getting drug tested, he looks great. He outboxed Cesar Chavez Jr., who's some sort of legend. I don't know much about boxing, not pretending to know. But he won a decision against him, which shocked the world, and not very much late. I mean, that was just a couple months ago. And now he knocked out Tito in one punch. Now, Tito's not a boxer. His entire game in the 2000s was
wrestling.
Yes, that was his thing.
Take you down, beat you up.
That's right. But this was pitiful, dude. You know, I saw a couple people calling for saying it was staged. Not that Silva was in on it. That Tito knew that he was going to go down the first chance he could and get out of there as quick as he could. And I thought, no, I don't think that prideful fucker.
No, I don't think so.
But this guy, Tito, was like a mayor of somewhere.
Yeah, I remember he was a mayor.
And then
wasn't it somewhere in California?
Yes, Huntington Beach, probably.
That's it.
You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
duh.
But he, you know, there was a bunch of controversy there, and I don't know if he got booted out or he gave it up, but it was not going well.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is definitely a cash grab, but it was so pitiful. I can't believe a man would do that on national TV on purpose. You know what I mean? But at the same time, once these cocksuckers started saying that, and I watched it like again with fresh eyes, dude, when he goes down, he looks like he's dead. And as soon as they get to 10, he gets up like, come on, man. Come on, man. After they get to 10. But before that, he was stone cold, unconscious. It was weird. And I'll tell you this. If Bellator would have been on Saturday, I would not have watched these stupid fucking boxing matches. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was just no other option. There was no other option. Now, we are in a dry spell of UFC where there's been a few weak cards, a few off weeks, and maybe for the layman, or even not the layman. I've been talking to Trevor Finn a little bit. He's a super fan. But maybe someone like that doesn't even watch some of these where the main event's a couple of Sean Strickland's or Uriah, Halls. I don't know. I don't think many people are like us,
No, I don't think so. We talk to other people that, are fans of this, and they don't.
Yeah, they watch the pay-per-views.
They don't vibe like we do.
Or the main cards.
Right.
And I'm thinking, main card, dude, you missed 9 fights. That's how I look at it.
Prelims are usually the best.
Yeah, they are. I know. You say it all the time, but it's true, bro.
I love the prelims.
Them starved, hungry, broke motherfuckers
who
want to be on ESPN's top 10.
They want to go to the fucking pay-per-views.
Hell yeah, baby.
They want to be headlining it, and they want to fucking prove themselves.
I agree. But the boxing thing was fucked up, man. It was sad. And the fact that the Holyfield thing got sanctioned in the first place is disturbing. If you remember, like 6 months ago, the big Tyson fight, it was ruled an exhibition and headshots weren't allowed and all sorts of rules.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff.
Well, here we are maybe a summer later, not very much later. It's like no one gives a fuck anymore. Tyson, okay, if Holyfield's 58, Tyson, who's the same age, looks like a 35-year-old compared to him, okay? So Tyson has all these rules, all these regulations, but then they went and fed this motherfucker to the wolves, dude. Like, there was no rules. Vitor was slugging for the head every punch he threw. It was disturbing. So if you're going to keep letting these, like, legends, legends only league and all this shit continue, there's got to be some sort of, I don't know. I don't want to say age limit because, like, the Spider right now is 46, probably going to be 47 soon, and he looked like 25 years younger than Holyfield looked. So maybe not age, but there's got to be some sort of physical. There's got to be something. The motherfucker can't speak right. He don't sound quite like himself no more. You know what I mean?
It's like when Chuck Liddell says he wants to fight again. Just no. The answer is no.
Bro, there's 700 fighters on the UFC roster right now. And I would say maybe 25 of them are wealthy. I just hope this can be a lesson. Like Sugar Sean made a good point the other day. Sugar Sean said, Ariel Helwani was trying to stir the shit up a little bit about how he's underpaid. I heard you're not fighting Frankie because of something to do with money. And Sugar Sean said, no, I'm not fighting Frankie because my coach, Tim, has a jiu-jitsu match that same night. I asked for Frankie like 2 weeks later in Vegas, and they said no. Well, I heard you didn't want to fight in New York because of all the taxes. He's like, well, that was like the icing on the cake. I wasn't fighting because my coach is going to be in a jiu-jitsu contest. But yeah, I didn't want to give half my money to the state of New York at Madison Square. So it came up like, well, a lot of people are giving you shit that you won't fight any tough opponents. And he said, listen, dude, I got 3 fights left on my deal. I do not make anything near what I'm worth. So why would I go fight the top 3 guys, the top 5 guys, and make my little measly salary when I know I can go get 3 KOs quick, sign the deal that I'm worth, even more than it would be worth now after 3 more knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
Then give me Aljamain, give me Sandhagen. Now, while he's saying all this, he's saying, I'd fight Dominic Cruz right now. I'd fight Frankie right now. Like they're nothings, But so Ariel starts fishing. So, you're underpaid fighter too, There's a lot of this going on. He's like, well, listen, dude, I make plenty of dough from the UFC. They don't pay it to me, but they give me this bitchin' platform for me to sell shirts to my fans and do the podcast. I've got more eyes on me than ever before, you know. And as much of a douche as he can be, he was real cool, dude, real level-headed.
Yeah, I watched parts of that. I was kind of shocked as I watched through it, just how he did go through that. Just what you were just saying. You know, he's like, well, talked about the pay, but then he brought all that up, said, listen, without the UFC, I wouldn't be selling all these shirts. I wouldn't be having all this merch. So it's a give and take.
Yeah, it's a give and take. It's your platform to do with what you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are examples of, like, Leon Edwards, who's like, you know, goddamn, 10 fights in a row. Like, you know, I'm sure he makes a okay salary, but he has no fan base like that.
None.
There may be some hardcores like us who are like, oh, yeah, he's good, man. But, well, fuck, I've said it to you. Man, he's good, and I like him. He's nice. I just don't give a shit, you know?
Right. We talked about this. I think we talked about it off air, but one fight in the UFC, Paddy Pimblett already has more followers than Leon Edwards does.
Which is insane.
Already has more
Leon's
social
been
media
in the UFC
followers.
for, what, 9 years, 8 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he was fighting Usman in 2013 or some crazy shit. I mean, he's been around forever. Yes, and this young, I don't know what you call him, not a stud necessarily, but this young up-and-comer, he's got he's the total package. He talks the talk, and now he's officially walked the walk. Came out and said, you know, bring them all on, and said all the right shit. People got excited. And I'll be goddamned if he don't have more social media followers.
Already. One fight.
Than Leon, who deserves them. Now,
Yeah.
You may wonder why we're talking social media followers. You know, I got a couple hundred. Who cares? Well, all these guys' money they make on the side, like, hey, will you show my nut cream on your Instagram and talk about it for a second, and we'll pay you? Well, they're not, you know, that's how it affects Leon. If he's got 100K followers and Paddy Pimblett has 600K, well, they're all going to go to him for their shit, you know? Like, it's a big deal. Like, if you love UFC and you're a purist like us, follow fucking Leon. Give him a little shine, you know? Leon's the next guy fighting for the belt probably in 6 months. So, you know, Colby's going to beat Usman, and then he might have to fight Poirier or something like that. But, you know, Leon's right there next in line. Seriously.
Yeah.
Leon's right there next in line, regardless of who takes it. He could rematch Usman. He could fight Colby. He could fight Dustin. He don't give a fuck. But because I really think when Poirier wins the belt at 55, I don't think he'll ever defend it.
You don't think so?
I think if he beats Charles, he'll cry in the cage. He won't retire. I think he'll wear the strap around to the Tonight Show or whoever will have his ass for a month or so. I bet he'll get nice and fat on vacation. And then he'll start responding to some of these Nate Diaz shit talks or some of these Colby Cove shit talks and be fighting at 170.
I could see it.
Now, he might have one fight holding the belt.
I could see him defending it maybe once. But
yeah, you're
I'm
adding
not,
6 months to this equation.
I'm not denying what you're saying
If he wins
either.
it in December, and defends it once, well, now that's summer 2022. So you're moving the 170 thing by a whole year just to defend it once. So if he's going to defend it once, why not stick around and make your mark and try to fish Khabib out and have the super fight or something like that, you know? I don't know. I don't think he'll do it. Now, this may all be moot. Charles may choke the fucking life out of him and it'd be that, but I just don't see it. That weird, wide-bodied son of a bitch. I think he's going to run right through Chuck. I just think he's going to do it, man.
Dustin's looked incredible lately.
Now,
Incredible.
But he's only fought Conor.
Yeah.
You know, all
He
his
still looked good, though.
all his incredible highlight is just Conor, though. 2 fights with Conor.
Yeah, but all his other fights, I mean, even when he fought Khabib, he didn't look bad.
No, but he lost.
So did everybody else that fought Khabib.
You're right. And he won a fight against Dan Hangman Hooker that I don't know if it was a split, but it could have been.
Could have been.
It could have been. It
It
should
was
have
a
been.
tight fight.
Tight fight.
Yep.
And Dan Hooker's done nothing but lose since then.
He also beat Justin Gaethje,
That's true. That's true.
who's a bad motherfucker.
Wasn't that before all what we're talking about, though?
That was before
The Hooker fight.
the Hooker fight.
Yeah. So point is, his Hooker win isn't aging well. The Conor wins, if you ask some of the purists, are like, what's that fucking mean? I agree that he dominated Conor. Now, if Conor comes out and starches a couple dudes, then we can be like, okay, that's still Conor. But I don't know that it's still Conor. Do you?
No.
It's not. So fuck yeah.
I don't think Conor ever was the same Conor when he went to 55. That's just my personal opinion. It's arguable, but
Yeah, what was he, 1-0 before all this?
when he went to 55, he won his initial fight against Eddie Alvarez.
Got the belt.
And that was it?
That was it. So, since then, his only 55 fights have been the 2 with Dustin?
Khabib.
Oh, Khabib. Yeah, Khabib in 18 got him. Which, like I tell you, because you're a hater, Conor versus Khabib, in hindsight, Conor looks good. I mean, who goes that long with him? You know what I mean?
Ally Quinta.
That's true, but that's back when Khabib couldn't make weight and wasn't disciplined and pulling out of fights all the time. That was a different Khabib. 2018 to 2021 Khabib would destroy the 2012 to 2018 Khabib, I think. I think he's a different fucking animal. He had the worst rep in the UFC for pulling out of fights and injuries and Ramadan and weight issues. I ain't heard a peep of that shit since I've been watching him submit Justin Gaethje's and Dustin Poirier's of the world. Or making Conor his bitch. But did you see Khabib talking shit to Dustin the other day?
No, I
It
didn't.
was some sort of tweet or post. Khabib made a post that was a picture of him choking out Dustin. And I can't remember the exact quote, but it was juicy. It was like, something, 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 then you make them shut up for real. And that was all the writing, and the only picture was him choking the fuck out of Poirier. And I thought, what is this? You know, he's already priming for Dustin to take Chuck's belt. Which, like I told you 6 months ago, I don't think Charles will have the belt very long, even if he got it. Now he's got it, and I don't know about it.
I don't know.
I'm glad he has it.
I have a lot of mixed emotions just because for the last year and a half I was really hardcore on Charles.
Yeah. You called it,
But-
when we first started watching this religiously together, I mean, you've always been more versed than me, but you were saying that for like so long where I was like, who the fuck's this? No. And then, when the Tony thing happened, the whole MMA world was like, well, Tony's not the same. So I was like, well, maybe Chad's wrong. And then it happened. Chandler rung his bell in the first round. I said, Chad was wrong. And, dude, he persevered, and he fucked that guy up. I mean, you've been calling it for a year.
Yeah, I've said for a long time, right before he fought Kevin Lee, that I always said, I was like, he's going to be a champion. But it just scared me. I don't know. I know he persevered. He won. He showed a lot of heart in the Chandler fight. But after that fight, I was just like,
Yeah, dude. All you got to do is bink him.
Yes.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, because I don't care what anyone says. He went down.
Now,
he dropped.
You could say that about anybody, but I've seen so many dudes just take him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Charles can.
That's talking about that, though. Chandler also went down.
That's right.
He did.
That's right.
And I think Justin Gaethje hits a hell of a lot harder than Charles.
I agree. I agree. I would be curious to see Gaethje Oliveira.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I'd like that. But Gaethje Chandler's got me jacked. It does. I'm excited about it. I prefer Justin win.
For sure.
And then I would prefer, I guess, Dustin to win the belt and then get to see Gaethje fight Dustin a second time. But there's so many badass savages up in that like top 6. I'd love to see all sorts of mixed match. Just fucking fight each other. Just fight each other.
Yeah, anybody in the top 7, you could say 6 or 7, any of those guys could be champions.
For sure. This is when the Bellator playoff thing would come in handy for the UFC.
Cool.
Can you imagine just being lined up on the bracket?
The top.
Not having a choice. Hey, you don't get to say no, baby. You beat Gaethje, well, so-and-so beat so-and-so. Now, it'd be awesome.
It would be.
Because these guys are going to dodge the Islam Makhachevs of the world. And, Beneil's going to be begging for a fight because he don't have the name for people to be like, yeah, I'll take him. Whoever gets paired with Beneil Dariush for his next fight is a loser in the top 6 because no one's going to want to take it. Well, he's that one newer guy in the top 5. I don't know about him. What do I get for beating him?
Right.
So if you put it in a tournament-style bracket and just, this is what it is, that would be so badass.
Yeah, and I remember Scott Coker saying it because they were talking about, I think it was when Douglas Lima fought MVP. They're like, man, don't you kind of wish this was the finale? And he said, well, if all these guys are the baddest, the 2 baddest will meet in the finale.
That's right. And who cares if it's the finale? If you guys wish it was the finale, then this ought to sell just as good as the finale will,
And when he said that, I was like, yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He said it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He said it's a great fight now. This tournament spits out the 2 baddest motherfuckers.
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I just can't get into the Bellator. I tried to watch it. As soon as it went to Showtime, I tuned in for 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And, like, the second fight card was like, what's their lady champion that was a UFC cast?
Cyborg.
It was a Cyborg main event. And the whole card under her was just like nobody's. Now, generally, I don't mind that. Dude, I've been going to bed to these like hour and 30-minute jiu-jitsu matches where it's just jiu-jitsu. And I can handle that. I love it. But, man, something about the Bellator gloves and the round cage and the shitty fucking commentators and something about it just...
Man, that's funny you say that because even my dad has pointed out something what you just said. Big John McCarthy was a great referee.
Great ref. Decent podcaster.
Arguably one of the best. Arguably one of the fucking worst.
I agree.
Commentators.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He's with, what is his name? The voice of the UFC for the 2010s.
On his podcast?
No. Bellator commentators.
Oh, fuck, I don't remember their names.
The guy who goes, Ortiz, Liddell.
Mike Goldberg.
Mike Goldberg. That's the commentator. Mike Goldberg and Big John. Now, that sounds great. But he's old news, bro. Like, when I see old highlights with his voice in it, I'm even turned off a little bit. Like, man, I love John Anik so much that I don't even like the Goldberg era anymore. Now, he was huge for the UFC back in its day. Mm-hmm. He still does that thing, by the way. Cyborg. McKenzie.
Here we go.
Yes, he still does it. But it's 2021, baby. And they need to soup up the commentator booth. They need to turn that fucking circle into an octagon. The octagon is not owned by the UFC. It's how it should be if you're fighting in a cage. And I don't know, man. Get rid of those fucking stupid-looking puffy gloves. I don't know. They got to do something because I'm obsessed with this shit. And if I watch it, it's on mute playing on my phone. That's how I watch Bellator. PFL, it's okay. I tuned in to watch Showtime get obliterated a couple times, but something about that keeping score, the punch counter. I remember one time at my house, I was like, it'd be cool if we could see the actual punch stats. Well, fuck, PFL every Friday night's blaring it on half the screen during the entire fight. I don't like that either.
No, I remember that. We talked about that a lot. That, like, man, I wish we could see this live.
Yeah.
And then when we did see it live, like, oh.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Fuck, just a couple months ago, you were like, yeah, so-and-so definitely won the first round. And then the punch stats popped up, and it was like
2-1 difference.
2-1 the other guy. And
yeah.
I was like, well, fuck, man. I didn't know if he won it or not, but I thought he did. Like, I don't know.
Remember what fight that was.
I don't either. It was not a big fight.
I know what you're talking about because it was real close the whole time.
Yes.
It's like,
Point is, the punch stats can be so misleading.
Yeah.
Do you really want... I don't know if I want the judges to see him. Just let them watch the fucking fight. You know, like, a fight's a fight.
Yeah, because one thing about it, a true fact, my opinion got skewed. Damn it, I'll get it out here in a minute when I seen the stats.
What do you mean? For that fight we're talking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. It was like 38 to 15 strike-wise.
I was like,
Yeah, the guy that you said dominated was down big. But with the judging nowadays, who knows? What are they fucking...
The judges suck.
So I thought of a really cool thing. I didn't think of it. I heard this and thought it'd be perfect. But, you know, they're talking about open scoring and all this crazy shit. What if there were 8 judges and the 5 likewise scores were the ones that counted? So when you got that dumbass who's 30-27 the complete wrong way, that one's almost just eliminated. Mm-hmm. The 5 that were the closest. So let's say Colby Usman won. We all know it was 3-1 Colby, 3-1 Usman, 2-2. That was the 3 cards. Well, those are vastly different cards.
Yeah.
Now, had 8 judges been scoring it, maybe you did have 3 of them that were 3-1 Colby, 2 of them that were 3-1 Usman, and 3 of them that were 2-2, you know, even. Mm-hmm. Well, then you got the 3-1 Colby and the 2-2 tied. So what do? So someone was like, maybe it has to be 9. Well, 9 seems like such a shitload. But what if there was 9 dudes sitting around former MMA fighters, preferably, not boxing judges.
No.
Every judge that does an MMA fight is a boxing judge, licensed in whatever state they're fighting in. That just blows my fucking mind, dude. Striking is such a small part. I know that sounds stupid. It's 33% of the fight, in my opinion. You know what I mean? For that to be the only thing these guys know, it's just insane to me. It's insane to me. Why isn't like, okay, Tito, Chuck, Spider, these guys making desperate cash grabs to fight in their 50s? Pay them motherfuckers to be judges. You don't got to give them $1 million a fight. I bet Anderson the Spider would come sit and watch Cage Side every Saturday night for fucking $50K.
For sure.
To watch the fights and give his score.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a gray area there. Well, Anderson really hates Chris Weidman for what he did to him back then. Maybe he judges against him. Well, then that's pretty fucking sad, you know. I feel like, you know, fighters have rivalries, beefs, whatever. But when it comes down to the MMA game, I feel like you know, if you're fighting like that, you respect it on a different level than a layman. I feel like they'd be fair. Mm-hmm. And there's only so many times that Colby can dominate Usman and the scorecard go the other way before you're like, okay, Sal D'Amato, you're out of here. You know, like how many times are you going to let a guy give a shitty card?
Right.
Because Sal D'Amato is one of those guys who does it every other Saturday. Just always has the opposite of whatever the other two guys have. When there's a split, he's always the odd man out, you know. But I don't know.
Yeah, and it'll be 29-28 this guy, 29-28 that guy. Then he'll have 30-27 for somebody.
Right. And either way he has it, it's like, why are you the only off card?
Right.
Okay. Anyways, before we burn up all our time, we got some fights Saturday night, baby. We got 15 of these motherfuckers. Now, to you laymen, you may not be excited about this card, but we're here to tell you there's some juicy fights on it.
This is a sleeper card. You know, I wasn't all that wound up about it, and I was looking at the lineup, and I started seeing all these names.
Bro.
Man, this is a sleeper card.
There's so many bad motherfuckers on this card. It starts at 3 o'clock Saturday. I might kick back, put my feet up, drink a Monster. Sorry, Gottman. I relapsed. But I'm going to watch every one of these motherfuckers. 15 fights, that'll last 6-7 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Psh, especially if there's some decisions in there, which there will be.
Oh, yeah.
This JP Buys guy, he never gets a finish. Hannah Goldie, that's a bad bitch. She might get a finish. I don't know. Do you know why some of these people are underlined? Are they ranked or something?
Do not know.
No, because Devin Clark's not ranked.
No, I have no idea.
Okay, let's start with the main.
Yeah, Smith and Spann.
Okay, that's Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Superman Spann. Now, Anthony's been in the game a long time.
He has over 50 pro fights.
He's fought for titles.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Spann's not so long in the tooth. He's newer.
No, he came off Contender.
So in the last 4 years or something? Yeah.
He's working his way up the
ladder.
ladder.
He is. He might even be ranked, but I don't think so.
He is. I think.
Is he? 15?
It's past 10.
Oh, okay, I got you. When you say past 10, it confuses me because we're always counting up to number one.
Wrong side of 10.
You mean on the wrong side of 10. Okay. So let me pull up the UFC rankings while
I want to say it's 12, but don't hold me to that.
Okay, so Smith, you know, in my humble opinion, is going to win every aspect of the fight. He's probably going to submit Ryan Spann, which I would enjoy. But it's a fight, and Anthony's getting old. You know,
yes, he is.
If he's going to go down, he's going to get knocked out. And I really believe that's the only way he will lose. But let's see. Superman Spann's ranked 11.
11, okay.
Anthony Smith is 6th. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Smith by sub. That's probably what I'll bet on if I bet Saturday night.
Yeah, I like Smith.
I just don't think Ryan can do it.
The only thing that scares me about Smith is
Glover Teixeira.
When he fights at the Apex, he doesn't perform as well as he does in front of the live crowd.
Were his 2 comeback wins against?
One of them, the one he won at the Apex was Devin Clark.
Right.
Now, when he fought Jimmy Crute and looked great.
Pay-per-view.
That was pay-per-view.
Okay.
And you could just tell when he was walking to the cage.
Yeah, he was vibing.
Yeah, I mean, we were
he
all
always
wound
comes
up.
out to Return to the Mac, but when he does it in the Apex, he ain't dancing as much.
No.
It was crazy when Glover was knocking his teeth out and was like, I'm so sorry, man, because he couldn't get the finish, but he was just pummeling him in his face. And Anthony was like, it's okay, man, just doing your job. We could hear all that. because it's no fans.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad. It was like the end of his career, is what I thought. But he came back, beat a couple tough kids, and Spann's his first ranked opponent since Glover whooped his ass, I think. Did he lose after Glover?
No.
So he lost to
Or
Glover.
when did he fight? Did he fight Rakic before Glover?
Oh, after. So Glover fucked him up, knocked some of his teeth out.
Then he fought Rakic.
And Rakic was around the time of the home invasion story and all that drama where a guy broke into his house and he had to fight him. And then, yeah, Rakic.
Then he fought Devin Clark.
And dominated him.
Yeah.
By submission?
Yep.
Yeah.
Triangle, I believe.
Yeah.
Then he fought Jimmy Crute, who was ranked.
Yeah, Jimmy Crute's a badass dude.
Yeah,
I still think he's a badass.
Oh, damn right.
Yeah. And Anthony fucked him up. Decision?
No.
Finished him with leg kicks.
Yeah. Remember, his leg was all fucked up, and he didn't come out for the second round.
That's
They
right.
waved it off.
They waved it off after the first.
Wasn't that the same night that Chris Weidman broke his leg?
Yes.
And I think they were like back to back.
Yeah, Anthony Smith got a leg kick finish,
Mm-hmm.
and then, yeah, Weidman snapped.
Yeah, like 14 seconds into the fight.
Ooh, it was gnarly, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So Co-Main. Co-Main's cool. Like, you probably don't know their names, but Devin Clark, that's the kid that Anthony fucked up last summer, maybe this past summer.
Yeah, and he ain't no slouch.
He ain't no slouch, dude.
He just ran into a bad motherfucker.
Yes, he did.
Simple as that.
But he's fighting Iwan Kutalaba, who I fucking love this guy.
I love him.
I've been betting on this guy his last 4 fights, and he's 1-3, if that tells you anything. He's on a bit of a losing streak. He fought the same bad motherfucker, Magomed Ankalaev, twice. The first one, he was playing possum, and the ref stopped it while they were on their feet, like 20 seconds in. Very controversial. Got rebooked, COVID postponed, rebooked, and Ankalaev, dude, fucked him up, man. It broke my heart.
Knocked him out cold.
But Kutalaba was plus 400 or some shit. So I was like, I'm going to put a little money on this. This is crazy not to. And he just looked bad. Now, I don't know if he's had a win since then. I don't think so.
I don't think he's fought since that knockout. I think this is
I thought he lost one more time.
I
I really did. I thought he's been on a bit of a losing streak here. He's awesome. He paints himself up green at the weigh-ins. They call him the Hulk. He's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, he had a draw with Dustin Jacoby a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he lost to Ankalaev twice. But before that, he fucked up Khalil Roundtree Jr., who we just said was a savage last Wednesday. He lost by sub to Glover. Very interesting. I didn't know that. Knocked out a couple other guys that I don't know. But I'll tell you this, his back's against the wall.
For sure. Yeah, he's in a situation where he needs to win.
Right.
He needs to win bad.
And I think he will.
I do too.
I think he will. I follow him on social media, and there's been no sign of like this getting in his head or him being down. He's as yoked as ever, got a beautiful wife and family. He's got something to fight for, and I think he's coming for blood.
Yeah, I think that would be a great 2-pick parlay.
Smith by sub and Kutalaba by knockout?
Yeah.
I might do it tonight. I'm going to go ahead and book it tonight.
I think it'd be great. Smith by sub, Kutalaba by finish.
I like it.
Of any way, really.
I like it.
I think if he finishes, it's by KO, but never know.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll win a decision, but he did go the distance with Jacoby and had that draw. I think there was a point deduction in that. No, there was a 10-8, I think.
That's it, yeah.
He gassed. Kutalaba gassed and lost a 10-8 in the third.
Yeah, because he was just beating the
He
shit
was
out
beating
of
the
him.
shit out of him for 2 rounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Flyweight fight for the ladies, Ariana Lipsky versus Mandy Bohm. I don't know Mandy.
I think this is might be her first fight in the UFC.
Okay. So Ariana's probably a big favorite.
I would assume so.
She's a badass, too.
Yeah, and she was a champion in the organization she came from.
Which was, do you know?
I don't. It was not Invicta. I know that.
That's the only one I know for ladies.
Right. It was something different.
Yeah, I probably won't touch that one just because I'm not informed enough. Arman Sarukian is a badass 55er, and he's fighting Christos Giagos. That'll be a good fucking fight, dude. I don't know. I'd say Sarukian by finish or, I really don't know. Christos Giagos is a badass, but, God, I'm so fucking excited to watch Joaquin Buckley fight, dude.
I know.
Joaquin Buckley had the viral, he fought Impa Kasangane maybe a year ago now. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe not that long.
It was last year because that was like knockout of the year.
It is
for
the
everything.
most badass highlight you'll ever see. He catches Impa's foot, which you're not supposed to do in MMA. You don't want to catch the foot, and he's catching it. Impa catches his foot, and he just does like this.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you got to look it up.
Yeah, Joaquin Buckley highlight. It is
it'll be the
mind-blowing.
first thing that comes up for sure.
It is mind-blowing, and he's a bad son of a bitch. I think his only loss lately was Kevin Holland. There might have been another one in there, but I don't know.
Yeah, he lost to
That Antonio Arroyo he's fighting, though, is no slouch, dude. That
the
dude,
guy he lost to was just on week before last card. I don't remember who he was fighting.
the guy Joaquin lost to?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that unimpressive-looking guy.
Yeah.
De Silva?
DeSeco or something, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. We got Tony Gravely fighting Nate Maness. Oh, those are unranked bantamweights, but they're both badass. And then there's 9 prelim fights. Now,
Wow.
there's some junk on here. When I say junk, I just mean people we don't know.
Right.
Every one of these guys is a bad motherfucker.
There's some really
But there's
interesting fights.
there's some
on there.
badass fights hidden in there.
You know, Panny Kanzai fighting Raquel Pennington.
Oh, that is a big fight,
That's
actually.
big.
Yeah, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
That Tafon Nchukwi, he's that big old black dude that's a fucking 7 foot tall knockout machine.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, and that Mike Rodriguez, that Mike Rodriguez is the poor bastard that body shot KO'd like smiling Sam Alvey.
Mm-hmm.
And they called it a nut shot and let him recover. And then he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that poor bastard.
Impa Kasunganai is on the card.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I noticed it
Isn't that crazy, though?
says he dropped to welterweight.
Is that a mistake?
Don't think so.
Really? Why would he drop weight class? Because of his losing streak?
I don't know. That's something to look into.
That bothers me. Yeah, well, you know, his last fight with Sasha Politnikov was at welterweight as well. You know, Imp is one of those guys who got in on Contender.
Right.
And then probably got told, like, whoa, shit, that's how you eat? Oh, dude, you're doing it wrong. And probably did just happen to naturally lose some weight.
Thought he was a natural 85.
Thought he was an 85er, and maybe he's a 70er. But he won by submission his last fight. That was the Kevin Holland, Marvin Vettori card. And I don't know. I didn't know that was at welterweight. That's interesting because I like Impa, and I think I think his future could be bright. But when you start talking about them 170 motherfucking dogs, baby, you're talking some
deep.
You're talking Usman, baby. Colby. Some killers, you know? Man, it's just crazy to see all these badass up-and-coming fighters and then going, oh, yeah, Adesanya. Oh, yeah, Usman.
Yeah, do you really want to run to the top?
Yeah, and if you do, are you going to do anything other than fetal position while they're pummeling you, you know? Which one of those are you most looking forward to on the prelim card?
Panny Kanzai and Raquel Pennington.
Really? Very interesting.
I would say so. I want to see where Raquel is at in her career. You know, she's kind of been, we'll say, a little bit of all over as far as on the lows, the highs, title shots. Got pummeled in a title shot. Pummeled. Bounces back, beats people like Misha Tate. She's kind of been all over. So I'm just curious to see where she's at in her career. That's my pick for
Panny
that.
Kanzad's a bad bitch.
Yes,
she's
she
weird.
is.
She's kind of lanky and weird.
Yep.
She's a killer.
I kind of feel like for Raquel, this could be a make or break situation. If you lose this, she's at a point where I could see her saying, I'm out.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I'm done.
Especially with like Misha coming back. There's, you know, it's a different age. You know, 40 is the new 30. The way that fitness is, or the stuff these guys can do, not steroids, but like the stuff these guys can do, like the meal prep that the UFC supplies these people, like you can extend a career now way further than you could if in Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell day.
Oh, for sure.
So these guys that we're watching now when they're 48, and 52, and they're doing this Tito Chuck money grab shit, they'll probably be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different era, you know? And it's sad to see someone like on their way out. But
I mean, she's been all the way from Tough. That's where I first learned of her, was on Tough.
Years ago.
A long time. That was on Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate season.
And that would have been what year? That would have been...
That was like season 17 or 18.
That means nothing because they do 2 seasons a year. You know, that would have been like 2011, 2012, 2013.
Somewhere around 13, I believe.
So
12, maybe.
So 10 years almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad to see him go. But maybe not. She might come out and dominate this bad bitch and call someone big out, you know. Where's Miesha fighting? What weight class?
That one.
Yeah. So get the win. Call out Miesha. Have they fought? They've had to.
Yeah, they fought.
How many? Once?
Once.
Miesha.
Raquel actually won.
Really?
Yeah, won a decision. That was the last fight that Miesha Tate had before she retired.
Oh, so 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
When Raquel beat her, Miesha quit.
Wow. Did Raquel get the title shot off of that?
I believe so.
And got dominated by Amanda?
Oh, it was bad, yeah.
Yeah, as long as Amanda Nunes and Shevchenko are in the picture, you know, people don't like talking about the lady divisions. It's not because we don't like watching them fight. Dude, I love watching them fight. Fuck, Cole Peterson, a buddy of mine, prefers watching them over the men.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one pay-per-view we were waiting for, like, Connor Dustin, and he was like, oh, hell yeah, and it was just like Andrade versus whoever she rat fucked to get that title shot. I can't remember. But
Caitlin Chukagian.
That's right. That's right. So, but as long as those two bad bitches are running things, it's not exciting. I mean, let's say Raquel wins. Well, we're excited for her to call out Miesha, but there ain't no calling out the champ. And if you do, she's going to pick her teeth with you.
The most exciting women's division is 15.
Right. Right.
Bar none. Bar
Dude,
none.
You know, Rose is like my favorite. One of my favorite fighters in general, but definitely my favorite lady fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw that Zhang has buzzed her head, and she's in the States, and she's training with Cejudo for the rematch. And that bothered me because I want Rose to run through her like a fucking train. I want Rose to cry in the cage again and fucking celebrate and call out Joanna and say, I beat Zhang twice. Now let's fight the one who really beat her. You know, a lot of people think Joanna beat Weili.
Oh, yeah. It's not the most exciting as far as putting it on the marquee and all this shit. I want to see her fight Carla Esparza.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I want.
I would like that, too.
I wish that's what would have happened now. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It was a weird thing where you had a very dominant champ, but she didn't have the belt very long. Well, she defended it all once?
Once.
Okay, so now we're getting weird.
And that was the fight with Joanna that she arguably lost.
Right. So Weili wins the belt, defends it once in a questionable decision.
Now,
only one because of a hematoma. Only one.
Amazing fight.
The only reason she won was because Joanna Jędrzejczyk's body is different, and she swelled up a little more. Joanna landed more strikes, more devastating strikes. I mean, she dominated. She won like 3 to 4 rounds. So yeah, the bitch wins the belt, defends it questionably, gets KO'd in 20 seconds by Thug Rose, and gets an immediate rematch. What world are we living in?
You win. Carla Esparza is on a 5-fight win
That's
streak.
right. And you used to have like 5 title defenses to get the immediate title shot when you choked.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be the Anderson
Well, look
Silva.
at like Woodley.
Yep.
He won the belt, and then he defended it successfully like 4 fucking times. Lost to Usman and was never thought of again. I mean, there was no immediate rematch. Who did he take the belt from? Robert Whittaker? There was no immediate rematch.
No. Woodley?
I said, who does he take the belt from?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Whittaker,
thought you said who'd Woodley take.
No immediate rematch. Stipe just lost it to Francis. No immediate rematch. So, you know, I agree that it's questionable. But it's probably the biggest fight to make at ladies strawweight.
Oh, I agree that it's a bigger fight.
Well, it's also...
I wanted to see the Carla Esparza fight because that has a story all on its own. Carla's beat her.
Yeah,
Carla's
that's right.
beat her. They came off The Ultimate Fighter. They did a show on The Ultimate Fighter of whoever won was the inaugural champ. And it came down to Rose and Carla in the finale.
Carla got her.
And Carla got her.
Finished her?
Yeah, choked her out.
Rose is a completely different fighter now, but I think Carla is too, you know.
Yeah, they both had up and downs in their career.
Definitely. Thug Rose is such a good story. Such a good story. But it's also like that's the same night that entire team of three, Usman, Gaethje, they're all fighting that night.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I agree that, Carla might have been the more deserving, but we are not talking about that fight 2 months, 3 months in advance the way we're talking about Rose Wele. You know what I mean?
No.
It's the juicier.
That's what I'm trying to get across is as far as who do we want to see or who makes more sense.
Right. Well, I'm torn on that because I want it to be pure. But if it's pure, Leon Edwards is fighting for the belt.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson should have fought for the belt
7 times.
Yeah.
After the 3-fight win streak, he should have fought for the belt, and then he got to 10, 12?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, I don't know. Not a super big card. A lot of good fights, a lot of good fighters. Like I said, now that I'm in the game a little bit, doing a little training, I respect all of them. I feel guilty when I'm alone on my couch. This is my life, people. Saturday nights, I'm alone on my couch watching fights. These last month, I can't even bring myself to go, he sucks. I feel wrong. It takes so much goddamn balls to get in that goddamn cage. I don't want to shit on any of these people. So there's 30 fighters fighting Saturday night who all have dedicated their life to get here, Fucking watch it, people. Give it some ratings. Let's help Raquel Pennington get a title shot. Let's help Anthony Smith get back to a title shot. Let's watch the fucking card. Let's get on social media and cheer after the fight. They only do it for the champs anymore, It blows my mind that Anthony Smith could choke this kid out Saturday night and make a social media post saying, tough challenger, I had a great fight, excited for the future, and it'll probably get 10,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
But Izzy can post a selfie taking a dump, and it'll have 100,000 likes. It's crazy how it works.
It is.
Now, I'm guilty of loving the stars. I love the stars. But goddamn, I love them all, I even feel bad earlier I said J.P. Bays' name wrong because I was reading it. It's spelt like bye. I want them all to do good. I want them all to make bank. I want them all to have title shots, Before we go, though, the biggest news of the week for me, and this will only take a minute. Did you hear about the new MMA league?
No.
Okay, there's a new MMA league being launched. Its purpose is to steal talent from the UFC and start its own thing. It's a small group of billionaires. I can't remember what you call that when they pull money together to do something, but it's going to launch in 2023. It's going to launch on a platform that rivals UFC, Bellator, PFL. It's not going to start out like locally. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a 50-50 profit share between fighters and owners.
Wow.
So, for example, the UFC fighters get 16% profit share, which is by far the lowest in professional sports. Boxing, the highest in professional sports, is 68% goes to the fighters. Football, basketball, they're all somewhere like 38, 48, something like that. But 50-50 will be by far the most besides the world of boxing. It's a very interesting thing because, I don't know what it's going to be called. I don't know who's going to be involved. I don't know what's going to happen. But it's where MMA fighters are going to go to get what they deserve. Mm-hmm. So it's going to change the game. So let's say Sugar Sean's 3-fight contract ends in, let's say he fights once every, I'll say 6 months. So this thing's launching in 2 years, less than 2 years, 2023. So a year and 4 months.
So that would line up perfect.
Let's say Sugar Sean's 3-fight deal of making $50K to show, $50K to win ends. Let's say it ends a year before this thing launches. And the UFC's saying, all right, buddy, you're popular. We'll give you 100 to show and 100 to win. Is he going to sit out on the sideline for 8-9 months and wait for this new company to launch so he can get paid like a Teofimo Lopez deal? Hey, Sean, we're not going to pay you per fight. You're going to get 50-50 on any profits directly, your merch, your tickets, and we'll give you $4.3 million for 6 fights. What if he says yes? What if the RDAs of the world, or the Justin Gaethjes of the world, start sitting on the sideline saying, I'm going to the whatever this new one's called, you know? It's going to change the game. I don't think it's going to be like Bellator, where, I don't know. I think everyone's going to want to go here. This is going to be like a unionized fight league. Dude, it's breaking news today. I read it this morning and thought, oh, my God. Dana White's going to have to do something, or he's going to still be this kind of brash, well, fuck, if they want to go, let them go, and start losing them.
Right.
He said so last night. I got 700 madmen on this roster. Conor gets in a fight with MGK. This is the fight game, people. These 700 crazy motherfuckers work for me. This ain't Microsoft. That's what he said. He said, every one of my employees is a nutcase. You know how I know? You have to be to get into this game, you know? So I'm curious if he's going to ignore it until it's push comes to shove and it's launching. He's going to dog it the whole time, anytime it gets brought up, for sure. He's in denial that this 16% or whatever it is not right. He's in denial that it's not right. He could turn this all in his favor if he just say, guys, starting in January 1st, 2022, we're upping the percent to 32. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's not what you want, but it's comparable to the NFL and NBA, and it's double. Do you understand what it took for me to get our sponsors and everybody to give up double? Just something like that could be the little bit of give to keep the UFC what it's going to be. If not, I'm afraid in 2 years we're going to see the Michael Chandlers and Tony Fergusons and these named fighters who maybe are underpaid. I think they're going to start leaving.
Very possible.
You know, if Tony Ferguson leaves today and becomes Bellator champion in 3 months, everyone goes, well, that's how shitty Bellator is. He couldn't even win a fight in UFC. But this new league won't have a bad reputation. It won't have a good reputation. It'll have a clean slate. It can be whatever it wants to be. Mm-hmm. As long as they nail the name, I mean, the fighters are going to want to fight there. As long as they nail the name and get the casuals like, oh, that sounds cool. Because when we hear Bellator, I cringe, you know.
Right.
PFL even, I'm like, PFL. I don't know what I want them to be called. I mean, until fucking 3 or 4 years ago, I thought UFC is what you called MMA. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that big of a brand. Like, I don't know if it's going to tank, but when you got all those billionaires backing it, the whole point of that is, hey, guys, we can lose money for 10 years to build something big. Mm-hmm. You know, anything worth it probably loses out at first. It's the flash in the pans that make a shitload of money in their first year always kind of fizzle out. But it's like if you can afford to take that loss, build something. I mean, that's what the UFC did. The Fertittas had to lose money for years, baby. For years. And that was 2 rich motherfuckers. Yeah. Now we're talking several pulling their money together. I'll dig into this a little bit during the week and have something a little more in-depth for next time. But it's a big fucking deal. It's a big fucking deal.
That's real interesting.
It'd be like the NFL. Mm-hmm. It'd be like CFL's boring. It's Canadian League. Arena football sucks. But it would be like another U.S. company going, hey, that's the NFL. Well, we're the MFL. And we have someone just as popular as the Miami Dolphins or the Buccaneers, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this has a chance to rival. I'm just curious how it's going to go.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
But yeah, I just can't believe that. 50-50 profit share with the fighters. There ain't a fighter on the roster, rich or not, who ain't going,
yeah,
50-50?
Any chance this will happen in 22?
No, it said launch in 22.
No, that's what the fighters are saying.
Yeah. How many of them might say, hey, dude, I have $183,000 to my name from fighting 6 times in 6 months. Let's make it stretch to 2023. Let's wait and see.
Yeah. How
many? How many are not going to sign that new 8-contract fight deal?
Right.
8 fights. Fuck, that'd take me 4 years, you know. I'm going to wait. That's what I'm worried about. But, you know, we'll see. You know, I'm sure Dana's going to act like it ain't no big thing. Maybe it ain't. Yep. There is no doubt, money aside, that the UFC champions are the baddest motherfuckers on the planet.
For sure. No doubt about it.
Every fighter wants to be a UFC champion.
No doubt about it.
I don't give a fuck what they say. Every Bellator champion wants to be a UFC champion.
Yes.
But, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, also, just a little interesting thing. Joe B announced retirement.
Oh, no.
Benavidez, yeah.
Man, I have a soft spot for that
I
guy.
do, too.
Only because of you do I have a soft spot. I remember It was one of my first pay-per-views when I got into this shit. And you're like, well, Dan, actually, I'm rooting for Joe because he's got here so many times and always falling short. And you told me this little story and it melted me, bro. I was like, oh, man, I want him to win, too. Then Davison Figueiredo walked out. The guy I was talking about last time just fucking did his thing, bro. Poor Joe. I'll tell you this. He's got one of the hottest women on the planet as his wife. She's got a her career's flourishing. I mean, she's a huge part of the UFC. I think Joe will probably be a part of the UFC. Mm-hmm. I think he'll be fine. I'm glad to see him go. It's been a rough 18 months.
I mean, he's getting to the point where he mirrored Uriah Faber for a long time, where he would beat everybody, and it would be hard to start denying. Like, man, this motherfucker's on a 5-5 fucking win streak of the top guys. We're not talking about guys coming straight out of Cage Warriors or something.
Right.
No,
I'm talking top 5.
Yeah. He'd destroy him. Then he'd get to the title shot. And he'd fucking lose. Well, then he'd immediately, 3 months later, he's fighting again. He's fighting a 10th ranked guy, annihilates him. I want another fight. And he'd just keep fighting and fighting. And he would always win. Then he'd get to the title shot. God dang it. He'd fall short again.
Always to Mighty Mouse? Or
he lost twice to Mighty Mouse and twice to Fig.
Did you see Mighty Mouse announced his next fight?
Yeah, I seen that.
It's a special rule fight.
Muay Thai, MMA.
Rounds 1 and 3 are Muay Thai rules, and rounds 2 and 4 are MMA. I don't know about round 5.
I have no idea.
But he just took a tough knockout loss to a guy that UFC fans would call a nobody 6 months ago. Bubba, you get knocked out in the round 1 due to Muay Thai rules not being your thing, then you've really fucked up. Now, the general consensus is like, if he survives round 1, he'll just sub him in round 2. The other guy's chance is only to knock him out in round 1, or he's getting subbed in round 2. I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of cool, but very strange.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
And those are the things kind of piggybacks to what you were saying about this new fighting league. Well, if it's this crazy amount of money, Demetrius Johnson it might not all be UFC guys go to there.
Yeah.
There's real big names, other people.
Yeah.
We might get to see some crazy
Well, this
fights.
opens the whole door. I mean, how many of us UFC fans wants to see 1 round, 30-minute fight anytime the Diaz's fight? Or any of these funky things we always talk about. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe we finally get to draw Triple C back.
Oh, man. That's the other thing. Triple C retired in his prime, double champ, because of money. Now, he's making good money through other ways, podcasting, and he's doing hot boxing with Mike Tyson. But he wants to fight. 50%? Sign a multi-million-dollar deal? Yeah, he'll probably be the face of this new league. That's a very good call.
Yeah, okay. They may try to target the trilogy. Demetrius Johnson, Triple C.
Beautiful.
I mean, would that not be huge?
That would be huge.
Everybody wants it.
It's just strange that Mighty Mouse never lost. I mean, the Cejudo fight, but all those years of not losing, and since he left, it's just been kind of weird. It's been
kind of, yeah,
beating nobodies, losing to nobodies. Like, they're not nobodies, but to our fan base, they are. That would be huge for him. The giant trilogy fight, maybe the first card of this new company. But you're also talking to a year and a half from now. You're talking, Henry will be 35 probably. Mighty Mouse a little older probably.
Yeah, he'll be on the wrong side of 30.
But that's an interesting thought.
And that's just one of
a cajillion options.
Hundreds of potential fights that could happen.
I'm with you. All right, I'm done with this bitch tonight.
That's all I got.
I had a blast.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, like always.
All right,
we'll be back next week.
I'll see you then.